What's up YouTube? It's Big Papa Smurf 187 coming back at you with another video. This one's about all the most underrated landing spots in Chapter 5 that you don't know about. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this very first one, you're going to land at Suntan Specialist here on the beach. And now, not a lot of people land here, and this is probably one of the most powerful drop spots in the game. So that you can hire the Suntan Specialist NPC who's going to constantly be healing you throughout the game. And now there's also this little shack near the edge of the dock in the water here, which is going to have guaranteed full shields. There's also some loot hidden up in the roof of this shack and at the other shacks on the beach. There's lots of ammo boxes and tons of coolers around full of fish as well. And if you're lucky enough to find EMPs, clingers, or snowball guns, you can also farm an incredibly vast amount of fish very quickly. So these are the houses up on the shoreline here, and there's quite a few more coolers there. There's always usually a bike or another vehicle such as a G-Wagon out front of one of them you can use to rotate. In the one shack there's always a save for gold. There's even more cooler chests out front. There's more chests inside of the building, so I'm not really going to show that. I'm sure you know how to search a building. There's also bearing chests along the shoreline as well. As you see, look, I'm at full shields, I have pretty decent loot. I have 4 floppers and 3 shield fish. So you're going to come out of this area with lots of fast heals. When you're done looting, you can simply go back down to the dock here and just use this jump pad to rotate. Notably too, there's also a plane here as well, which also is a loot spot in case you are contested. With floor loot and usually 1 chest and 1 ammo crate. Then you're going to fly over to the next spot here, which you could also just choose to drop at, which is one of those underground locations. Now this spot's a little bit more popular than Suntan Specialist Beach there, but you're always going to have 3 weapon crates in the basement, which always have blue rarity loot or higher in them, and you're also always going to get a sniper rifle if you're a fan of snipers here. But as you can see, I do bump into quite a few more players here, but it's nothing too crazy. And now you can get full shields here just from the slurp barrel slots, but they're kind of spread out outside of the building. There's a couple inside and even a couple more up near the roof. So it's going to take a little longer to get full shields at this location, as you have to kind of hunt for it. But you should come out of here with a decent amount of loot. But again, there's a few more people testing this spot again. Here's the roof of that initial building I was talking about there. There is a hole that you can use to also jump up from the one room with the chest there as well. And there's another vehicle in front. Now there's a dock just nearby as well, which usually has a couple boats with chests on them as well. Another cooler. And it's another great little spot where you can farm a lot of fish quickly if you have any type of explosive. You can also very easily make your way over to Snooty Steps from either Suntan Specialist's location or the underground location, if you're looking to get a mythic weapon and a medallion. But this video really isn't about how to fight Peter Griffin or get medallions. But I will link a video in the comments below where I discuss this and good landing spots in another video below. So now, near Peter Griffin's location there and that dock I showed you earlier, there's also a radio tower, which makes landing at these spots really great after you get the forecast for the storm. This just shows up second zone, this is why these spots are really great to land at. Put the card in, you know where zone goes for the storm for the rest of the game. Now this next unknown spot I'm going to show you here is I call it the Safari Campsite. You're always going to get like 2 to 3 chests here outside these tents just in the middle of the field here, and it's kind of near that forecast tower I just showed you. So once you loot this up, just run up to the forecast tower, you can loot it. I don't know why my mantle was not working there clearly. So you can run back up the hill here. You're going to have a couple more chests. I've shown this spot off in my Peter Griffin video. Also, at the same spot Peter dropped a crazy, insane high kill game in finals and tournaments from, was this hill right here. You have a jump pad, you can use that to get to Peter, the Suntan Specialist, or over to the underground location I just previously shown. making those spots great to rotate. And now next, I'm going to call this one the Sandy Mountain drop spot. Now you can take notice there's also another forecast tower. There's also usually a vehicle outside the forecast tower, usually a couple of chests or loot spawns around this little area here. But on the hill, there's usually also 2 chest spawns, and you're usually not going to bump into a whole lot of people landing here either. And a couple drops of floor loot and apple chests. And then you have a jump pad again for easy rotation. So you're going to want to fly over to this little building that's kind of in between Vyausel's yacht. I think it's Ritzy Riviera. And just simply break the floor here. This place is loaded with slurp barrels. See how we break 2 floors and have full shield. Then you have to use your pickaxe to break your way out of this building for some reason. But yeah, there's also usually a few more chest spawns around this building or inside of it. You can loot the building if you want to, or you can just simply make your way over to Vyausel's yacht via the zipline. So what makes this yacht really great is there is a keycard vault here, and there's only ever one enemy you have to take out. Now to easily get down the vault, just break the floor. No point in running around finding the staircase, it just takes way too much time. Now this vault always has a legendary chest inside of it. One notable thing about this vault is that pile of gold you see there is fake. So you're not going to get gold here. You can also sometimes get a mod bench spawn inside of here, but it's very rare that it happens. There's a few more chest spawns and quite a few more loot spawns on the ship as well. And you're not going to get contested very much here either. Maybe 1 or 2 players. There's 2 zip lines to get off of this boat here. And also a jump pad, which you can use for rotates. Now you can also land on that yacht and then make it over to the building I just previously showed you with all the slurp barrels too. So the next spot I'm going to call the Fisherman's Island. But I like to kind of land up here near these 2 little frog statues, because you can usually find 2 to 3 chests here. And there's a zip line to bring you right over to the island. I never really bump into a whole lot of players here. Maybe like 1 to 3. Now we don't take the zipline all the way across. There is a chest spot on the beach and a cooler spot as well. And there's 1 chest on the island just between the 2 rocks here. And this probably has the most fishing spawns anywhere I've seen in the game so far. So you can farm a lot of fish very quickly here, even enough for a whole squad. Ridiculous amount of seafood here. There's also more buried treasure here. Overall, this is a pretty decent spot if you want a decent amount of loot, have lots of fast heals, and don't want to be contested by a lot of players, because literally nobody lands here. And to get on the boat, this location, there's another jump pad which you can use to rotate over to this unnamed POI over here, over to the train station, or there's this kind of mansion building with a mini vault if you go the opposite direction over to the one towards the snow biome. So next one here, I'm going to call it the Lonely Snowy Island. Again, you're never going to see nobody land here. And this spot's not bad, only really good for a solo. There's a few slurp barrels you can hit up here. And there's an abundance of mushrooms on this island as well. If you're looking for a W key kind of game, probably not the spot you want to land at. If you want to look for something really low key, like if you're one of those players who likes to just hide out and rank to get points, the spot would probably be very perfect for you. A few chest spawns along the beach where there's like this bowling alley kind of just sitting here. There's a boat over here as well that has usually a couple chests on it, ammo crates or floor drops. So when you're off to explore the island, you get to find more mushrooms. Check out the bushes on the edges of the islands. They do sometimes hold hidden chests. There are a couple zip lines you can utilize to get back to the mainlands. And that doesn't round it for this drop spot. You can make it over to this little house here or over to Winterburg or Sergeant Winter is as well if you wanted to. Well, very low-key drop spot. Now this next one's a really weird one. I'm just going to call this one the Fishery. It's kind of like right beside Winterburg. There's usually always a vehicle to rotate out of this place. This again is for someone who's not looking to get into a lot of fights. So I'd probably say it's probably the worst drop spot I'm mentioning here, but it's for a very specific type of player. Now there's usually only one chest here and a couple ammo boxes. Whether it's the contract killer NPC as well. And now, if you don't find any weapons you like, these spots for some reason like to produce weapons when you use a fishing rod. But it's usually only gray weapons that I usually get into this. So you can fish out a couple weapons that wouldn't stay very long. Now I was lucky enough to get a snowball launcher. Just gonna quickly hit all three of these fishing spots here. And farm a lot of fast heals. As you see, I'm leaving the spot with 4 floppers and 2 shield fish and full health. Not very good loot for weapons, but you can then hire the contract killer NPC, or you can use him to buy a rift to rotate. Okay, so this next spot here we're going to call the plane crash site. It's kind of up in the mountains and sort of near Grand Glacier. A lot of people land here because most of them will land on top of the mountains or just go to Grand Glacier, but there's quite a few chests here and a few barrel spawns. If you run more towards Grand Glacier as well, there's even more barrel spawns and chests. There's also sometimes a motorbike here too you could use to rotate. Overall, pretty low-key spot because people just don't seem to land at this crash site for some reason, even though it has quite a few chests. We're going to get on the bike and rotate. Now, this next section here is going to be called There's Loot in Mountains. It's going to be a series of different drop spots all along the mountains here. So if you're contested at any spot you're going for here, you can just easily abort and just go to one of the other mountain spots in the area by hitting one of the jump pads, because they all have jump pads. And you'd be surprised how many people you will bump into on these mountains as well. But all these spots here usually have a few slurp barrels, a couple floor drops, and a few chests you can loot. So you're always going to get some form of guaranteed shields. There's the next one here, it's literally right beside the last one. Yeah, it's slurp barrels, chests, floor drops. And jump pads and rotate. Now, yep, yes again, there's more loot in the mountains, number 3. Now, I've covered these next 3 spots in some of my previous videos, which I will link below, about best drop spots for vaults. So I'm not really going to talk too much about these ones here, but I will link that video for you guys. Now, this one's kind of in between 2 of the mountains here. This one's I'm going to call the mountain campsite. This one is notably probably one of the better spots to land because there is the NPC you can hire here, which will mark enemies for you, and a zipline which you can use to get down to this little outbuilding, which is going to give you guaranteed full shields. So again, these spots are all so powerful because you can easily just use the jump pads to rotate to the next spot. If you're contested, you don't have to land at that spot, just abort and go over to one of the other areas. So they all have good loot. They're all close proximity to each other, and you're going to find it very easy to win games coming from these locations. So I'll probably pretty much do it for this video here. I'm just going to let this run to show off the last spot, which I've already discussed in previous videos. If you found this video helpful at all, please consider sharing, liking, subscribing, and drop me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite drop spots are this season, and if you tried any of these spots and how they worked out for you. Well, that'll do it for me, Big Papa Smurf, 187 out. Have fun gaming. Bye for now.